Okay, my messy bench, here's the carburetor. We just need a couple of things really. Can of carburetor cleaner with the spray hose on it. 7/16 wrench. A flathead screwdriver. Here's the carb kit. I got it off of eBay. I can't remember what it is. They're less than $20 usually. This has got everything in it, including a new float. It's a nice kit. Sierra also makes a kit. I tell you the truth, I've used the Sierra a lot more than the actual OMC Johnson Evinrude kit. Had real good luck with it. This is not a must-have, but I like to use it. It's the gallon can of carburetor cleaner. It comes with this little tray. You can just dunk all your parts, let them soak. Really cleans them up nicely. I definitely recommend that, but you don't have to have it. Alright, so starters, packing nut. What's leaking a little gas there? And the high-speed needle can come out. There's some of the packing there. Small parts can go right into the tray. There will be some more packing, leaking a little gas here. Just be careful. You should be fine. Low speed needle. You can see there's the nut. Pull the nut and then the needle threads right out. Good idea to also look at the ends of your needles. These both look okay. If there's big grooves or anything in them, throw them away. And the carburetor's probably junk at that point also. You don't find that too often though. Okay, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws on the bottom for the float bowl. Put you into high speed mode now. Okay, the bowl just comes off then. You can take the gasket and throw it away. Screws, might as well throw them in the bin. Check inside of the bowl for any kind of corrosion. Everything's going to get cleaned out here, but sometimes these can get real corroded and you actually have to throw them away. This one looks fine. We're going to soak it, but I'll set it aside for now. Okay, this still has the probably the original cork float in it. So and we are going to replace that. There's a pin here that'll just push out like so. You can take that, throw it in the bin, float. You know, it's really still fine. You could clean it and recoat it. Some of the coating is flaking off of it, and that'll definitely plug your carburetor up. You know, unless they're pristine, I just throw them away. Inside of here is the needle. That'll be replaced, so we can set that aside. The seat then should unthread, and I'm going to need a bigger screwdriver. Okay, this one's got a little bigger blade on it. It'll come. There it goes. You don't have to worry too much about damaging that. It's in the kit. If you buy the Johnson kit, I guess it's in the kit. Oh, this thing is filthy. We can just set that aside. That's a mess. We can throw that in there. See all the schmutz on there? We can throw that in there. And that's it for disassembly. I don't know if this kit may come with this Welch plug, but we're not going to need it. Once all the rubber's off, everything else can be soaked. So we'll just set that in there. That in there. Drop it all in. Put the lid on a little bit. It will evaporate, so make sure it's sealed at least. And then I'm going to clean up a little bit of gas, clean up my hands, and then we'll go through the parts in the kit. This is going to soak. I'll check it after 20 minutes and see where we're at. Alright, we'll quickly go over the contents of the kit. Carburetor gaskets. This kit is for a lot of carburetors. Just have to match ours up. It's still on the motor when we pull it off, so we'll check it out. New needle and seat. Here's, like I said, the Welch plugs are in there. There's a new pin for the float. These are packing, and then just a couple other seals. Some of that we won't use. New plastic float, and a nice new float bowl gasket. Alright, let it finish soaking. We'll come back. Alright, it's been 20-25 minutes. I've got the parts out draining here, just sitting on a couple of screwdrivers. At this point, we're going to clean this all with the gum out spray, carb cleaner, whatever you have. Safety glasses are a must with the sprays. I don't know if you've ever gotten that stuff in your eye. I'm sure it'll damage it, but I know it burns like hell too, so best just to wear some safety glasses. I'm going to take everything out, just lay it out on the rag. That's the pin for the float. We have one in the kit, so we're going to put that in the junk pile. Get the lid back on that, and what we'll do, got a plastic brush and a brass brush here. This thing was filthy dirty, so what we're going to do first is, now that it's soaked a little bit, the packing is sometimes easier to get out. Got my little pokey, pointy tool. You don't want to damage the threads, but the packing's got to come out. And it may come out in a million pieces here. There you go. There's some of the packing. There should actually be two. Another one. Now, the packing is important to replace at this point. I'm just scraping what little bit is left in there. The packing is very important to replace. Now this only had one in it because that's all I took out, and there's nothing left in there. The packing needs to be replaced because you don't want any leaks around that needle. It's going to affect your carburetor setting, so best just to change it. Aerosol. Get in there and spray that a little bit, and then this brass brush. Should be able to get in there. It's looking better. I wonder if I'll have any better luck with the plastic. Okay, I think that's got most of it. Because this thing is so dirty, like I said, we're going to soak it again. So you can see here there's some schmutz in the bowl. You can see it just brushes right out. So we'll clean everything with the brush. And look at how much junk came out of there. What'll happen if you don't get this all out, it will come out and it will end up in your carburetor, stuck up in one of the needles, plugging it up. Good way to ruin a good day of fishing. Okay, that's pretty good for now. We're going to set that aside. We'll soak it again. Here, start with the packing. What's left of the packing. Brass brush in there. This one came out better. Really important to have every last speck out of there. Now the low speed jet is in there, so we can get the tube in there. And when you hit the hole, you'll actually see it spray into the body. Spray up in there. Fuel inlet. And then a lot of this will just brush off now after it's soaked. If it's really bad, you can take this Welch plug out and clean the jet up. There is a replacement in there. I don't think that's necessary on this, so I'm going to leave it in there. I like to clean the outside. I mean everything. This is the mounting surface where it mounts back to the engine. That's important to be clean. For sure. You can see the black particles that are everywhere. So we can get all of that broke loose. That's the fuel inlet, which goes here. Okay, see there's some, I don't know how well you can see that on the camera, but there's definitely some junk in the fuel inlet. And you can see it on there. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. Now, the needles. You can see where there's still some varnish on there, so I'm just going to gently brush these to help break it up. If you had like an ultrasonic cleaner, that would probably be great, but that's really cleaning up well just like that. So same thing on the other needle. Clean the threads up. That's really looking good. The packing nuts, really nothing to do to those. Alright, this is the tube where the fuel, this is a jet here. So, the fuel definitely does go through there, so you want to get that clean. If you can see here on the side, there are these 3 little holes on each side that you're going to want to clean. Brush that till it's good and clean. That looks good. Now, with my finger over this end, I can spray some carb cleaner. Let me try it this way. Spray some carb cleaner and it should blow out the holes then. Alright, that looks pretty good. This thing's clean. I mean, I'm quite confident that it's good to go at this point, but I just want to soak it another 20 minutes and then spray it again. Get all the loose parts in there. Now you might have noticed I didn't take this plug out. There's not a seal, there's not anything there. That's just a float bowl drain. So it can stay in. And I'll give that another 20 minutes, half hour. We'll come out, spray it again with carb cleaner, spray it with air, and reassemble it. Alright, we've had another 20 minutes soak. So, I let it drip a little bit. Get everything out of there. Again, get the lid back on this. It will evaporate. And we're done with that now. Okay, now looks pretty good. Good and clean. I mean, you can brush the outside. You might clean up, look a little bit nicer, but I don't mind so much. So, safety glasses on. I'm just going to get everything a good spray down with the carb cleaner. Then I've got air. I'm regulated down to 30 psi. Just gently blow dry everything. Look it all over, everything looks good. We can set it aside. This looks great. Again, we can just spray carb cleaner through any of the little orifices, orifi maybe, I don't know. Gasket face. It's good and clean. Trying to get a rinse on the whole thing. Blow it. Well ventilated area is a real good idea also. I just like to rinse and dry everything. This can of carb cleaner kind of leaves a film on everything. Get all these small parts and just gently dry everything. Set it here on the bench. Done with the air. Okay, now we can start to reassemble. we're going to go with the needle and seat and the float first. So in the bag, that's the seat, that's the needle, the seal, and the new piece is this little spring. So let's get that assembled. Okay, I zoomed in a little bit. What we've got is the needle with the groove in the top now. The old one didn't have that groove, it was just smooth. And that is for, the groove is for this spring. What we're going to do is pop it into the groove. Like so. Facing up like that. Now we can get the seat into the carburetor. Okay, pretty simple. Little plastic seal goes on the seat, and the seat just threads in. Let's see, it's getting a little crooked there. Get that started. It's got a little smaller groove in it. Get that in there nice and tight. Now at this point, you want to take the spring and hang the needle on the float. Oops. Hang it back on there. Drop it into the hole. In the bag is the new float pin. It's all lined up. That pin will just push right through. Now that will fall out if you're not careful, so we'll just keep an eye on it. Now we'll get the float set. So the float should set level with this surface right here. So right about there. Right now it's just a little bit high. So it's pretty easy just to bend it down until it looks level. If you can't quite get it, put your screwdriver underneath there. Apply a little pressure like that. And then that looks good and level right there. I hope you can see that all right. So that's good to go. Next, drops right down the middle. Tighten it up. Nothing here goes crazy tight, just good and snug. The gasket on. Now, this is the fuel inlet over here, so we need to make sure that the gasket is on in the right orientation. You can see the extra hole on this side versus this side, and it's got to line up to that fuel inlet is all. Once that's lined up, the bowl goes on. We put the 5 screws back in. We'll go into high speed mode. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put one each just till it kind of stops. Maybe put just a little tension on it. Now I'll put you into, let's loosen that up. The gasket moved a little bit on me. Try another one over here. Okay, might have to fiddle around a little bit to get that screw, but I'll put you into high speed mode while I put the rest of the screws in now, just to snug. Okay, now everybody's snug. We'll just pick a screw, tighten it, and then just go around in a circle. It's a big rubber gasket, so it's not too important the torque sequence or torque spec or anything like that. Just again, good and tight's fine. Now let's find some packing washers here. Two packing washers in each hole. These will just slip right over the jet. The longer jet goes in the top. Two more packing needles. This is the high-speed jet. It's the shorter of the two, and that goes in the bottom. Do not over-tighten these, just till they stop, and that's it. Packing nuts. Get them up there snug. Okay, we'll back this screw off about a turn. Sorry about that. Get the 7/16 wrench, and we're just going to snug these up until we start to feel some resistance. Right there. Oh no, it was bottomed out a little bit. Okay, starting to feel it now. Go a little further. You just kind of want it to feel a little snug. Okay. About a turn out there. Okay, that feels pretty good for now. And what we'll do is, when it goes back on, I'll put the knobs on it, and then that'll give you a better feel for it. But overall, we are done. That is your completely rebuilt carburetor. Thanks for watching.